At 9:14 p.m. on June 28, 2023, Officer Haley Hulbert of the Crossroads Police Department received a call for service regarding a dog being left inside a vehicle at the local Walmart in Crossroads, Texas. Officer Hulbert located the vehicle in question at 9:24 p.m. and discovered a dog inside with all the windows rolled up. Historical weather data shows that at the time of Officer Hulbert's arrival, the temperature in Crossroads was approximately 90 degrees Fahrenheit. However, the dog did not appear to be in a state of emergency. Around 6 minutes after Officer Hulbert arrived on the scene, a man named Garth Beard exited the Walmart and approached the vehicle. The interaction that followed was captured on Officer Hulbert's body-worn camera.
Is this your car?
Yeah.
Okay. I was this close to breaking the window out.
It's not that hot.
It's 95 degrees. It means it's over 100 inside the vehicle.
I've been in there.
The windows have to be cracked. There's got to be something.
I was trying to keep the air conditioning in for him because I literally.
Okay, go and open that door for and crack the windows open for the dog, and I'm going to use your driver's license, please. 428. I'm out with the vehicle owner. Hi. Okay. Hi.
You can feel it's not.
It's 95 degrees.
But inside, I was keeping the AC in. Trust me, I love my dog.
The car isn't running.
I take him with me everywhere.
Okay. I just need to see the driver's license.
I don't have one with me.
Do I have any ID with you?
No.
Do you know your driver's license number?
What did I do wrong?
This is a criminal offense, okay?
What is a criminal offense?
For animal neglect and abuse, yes.
No, I do not abuse and neglect my animal.
Okay.
I need a supervisor.
Okay.
No.
Driver's license?
I need a supervisor, please.
What is your driver's license?
Please, I need a supervisor.
I don't have one on duty right now.
Look, I respect officers. I have family that are officers, but I also respect the Constitution.
Go and crack your windows and then close your door. Wait out here, I'll call a supervisor and see if he can contact me by phone.
All right.
Okay, I'm out with the subject. He's out here. He's refusing to identify himself. He's now asking for a supervisor.
He's asking for a supervisor? Okay. Are you back in route?
Where are you at? Do you want to talk to him on the phone?
No, I'm right down the street.
Okay.
I'll be there in a minute.
Okay, all right, thanks. Bye.
Okay.
Supervisor's turning back around and he's going to come out.
I would never do. I would just, it's not.
This is some of the worst temps. It's 95 degrees outside. That doesn't matter.
If I cracked the windows, that would let the 95 degree air in. I literally had it freezing cold in there before I shut the door.
I'm responding out to a call, okay?
Sure, I understand.
And this is me responding. I'm not telling you you're a bag dog, a dog owner, or anything like that.
Well, yeah,
I am here because I still have to do my job. I have to identify you now, okay? Because I'm out here for an offense.
No.
Okay.
That's not
all right.
the law.
Okay. Well, I'll let you talk to the supervisor when he gets out here. This is a private parking lot. I'm not going to ask you about your vehicle. My main concern is just the dog's okay. And then for documentation purposes, I do have to put your information in there, okay? I'm not saying you're going to jail. I'm not saying you're being issued a citation. I'm just trying to do my job because everything has to be notated that I made contact, okay? And make sure that well-being of that animal is okay.
Broken arrow?
I mean,
It's going to be closer to 100 degrees inside that vehicle. It's 95 degrees
if I
out
crack
here.
the windows, I know it's going to be 95 degrees in there. I had it freezing cold.
Your car is not running.
I know. I shut it off. I closed the windows. I let the freezing cold air in there. Trust me, when I opened the door and got in there, it was colder inside than it was outside.
Okay.
I would not do that to my dog. Look, my dog.
Okay.
He goes everywhere with me.
This is my supervisor right here.
How's it going?
How you doing? How you doing? Sergeant Tyler.
Nice to meet you, sir.
Crossroads Police Fire, just show you that I'm Sergeant Tyler. If you'd like to see my ID also.
I'm sure if they vouch for you, they...
Okay, so what did you speak with me about?
Well, she, I guess, got a call about my dog.
Yes, sir, we did.
I parked the car, and I had it freezing cold in there. I literally got it sitting there.
Okay.
It got it freezing cold.
Okay.
It's not sunny anymore.
Okay.
So it's not, radiating heat or anything like that.
Okay.
And I went inside. I've been in there for 15 minutes.
Okay.
And, I mean, she's I mean, what did I do wrong?
Okay. So when we get a call for service, okay, and especially when we do contact somebody, we do need to identify the
That's
person.
the law.
Hang on, I'm not done. Let me finish speaking, okay?
Sure.
Now, we don't know you had your car at sub-0 degrees earlier today.
Sure.
We had no idea.
Right.
But somebody did call and say, hey, there's an animal left in the vehicle. It is hot outside. And the animal looks like it's in distress.
Right. And you came here, investigated, and figured in distress.
Right.
I don't know about that. But you came here, investigated,
that's
and realized.
That's what's relayed to us.
Yes.
That's what relayed to us.
Right.
However,
Anybody can say anything. You
Sure,
came here.
sure.
I mean, the dog
So
was
now-
everywhere. I love that dog. I'm not going to.
totally understand. We
leave
love
the car.
dogs. I got a dog too. I love my dog as well. So when an officer does contact someone, they're required, especially when we believe that there could be a criminal offense, to identify.
82.03, I think it is. You could ask for my identification. I don't have to get it unless I've been lawfully arrested. That's the only
No,
time
sir,
I'm
that's
required.
not true.
Look it up. Look it up. That's all I'm asking.
Both Sergeant Tyler and Officer Holbert informed Mr. Beard that he is lawfully required to show his ID because he was detained under suspicion of criminal activity, and Mr. Beard insists that the officers are wrong. Now, we will discuss whether the officers had reasonable suspicion to detain Mr. Beard in a moment, but whether or not the officers had obtained reasonable suspicion would have no impact on any legal obligation for Mr. Beard to present his ID. As mentioned in previous episodes, many states require citizens to present their identification to members of law enforcement if they are suspected of committing or having committed a crime. However, Texas is one of several states that does not legally compel a citizen to present their ID unless they have been lawfully arrested, outside the context of a traffic stop. The statute that Mr. Beard was attempting to reference is Section 38.02 of the Texas Penal Code, which serves as the state's failure to identify law. This statute explicitly states that citizens are only required to provide their name, address, and date of birth to an officer who, quote, has lawfully arrested the person and requested the information. At this point in the interaction, Mr. Beard is being detained by the Crossroads officers, but he is not under formal arrest, which means that his refusal to identify himself would almost certainly not constitute a violation of the code. Furthermore, Section 38.02 obligates citizens to provide their name, address, and date of birth, not their physical identification card upon request from an officer in the course of a lawful arrest. So even if the officers had arrested Mr. Beard for the alleged quote-unquote animal cruelty violation, he still would not have been lawfully required to provide his driver's license or any other form of physical identification, and simply stating his name, address, and birthday would have satisfied the requirements under Texas law. Despite Mr. Beard's struggle to recall the exact title of the code, he correctly cited the language of the relevant Texas law to the officers, and it is highly unlikely that a court would agree with Sergeant Tyler and Officer Holbert's understanding of the code.
Okay.
You're being lawfully detained because there is an animal in the vehicle. We got a call for service.
The windows are down now.
The windows are down now.
I instructed you to put them down.
Yeah.
Okay.
No problem, Mr. Beard.
Yes, sir. Potentially. Okay.
Come on, man. I saw you trying not to laugh.
Here's the deal. As soon as we're done, as soon as you give your ID and we're done, we're gone.
I don't like the fact that we have to show our papers. Look, I have a lot of family there in your business, okay? I respect you guys. I also respect the Constitution.
But you are lawfully detained.
And I do not have to show. I
Yes,
cannot
sir,
give
you
you.
do.
Will you please just look it
When
up?
you
I swear to God.
Failed ID.
Please just look it up. I know. Look it up. I'm telling you. You're going to make a big mistake.
No, I'm not.
I know this very well. I know this.
So do I. How long have you been doing law enforcement?
Just look it up. Would it kill you to look it up?
You have a phone right there.
I'm
Go free to
recording
look it up.
because
So are we.
We're all
What do you-
recording.
those disappeared. You guys don't have a phone you can look it up?
Those get edited.
What you edited?
Those get edited. So that's what I'm saying.
Your phones?
You're saying these get disappeared. Those get edited.
Sure.
Okay.
Sure.
What's your name, sir?
Garth.
I'm sorry.
Garth.
Garth.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
Garth, what's your
all.
last name?
I don't have to give it to you.
Okay. I don't call people by their first names because it's a respect name. Okay.
Nice try.
Until I get to know them. It's not a nice try.
This is what this country has become. This is what this country. You guys are like addicted to IDs, and you don't even know the law. Here, you know what? I'll stop. I'll look it up.
Go for it.
I'm going to show you because you'll be very surprised.
Look up failed ID.
Yeah, I know.
Okay.
Failure to identify. A person commits an offense if he intentionally refuses to give his name, residence, address, or date of birth to a police officer who has lawfully arrested the person.
They see that.
The police officer who has lawfully arrested the person. A person commits a crime. A person, look, it's right here. A person commits an offense.
Read it yourself.
Yes, and you let me read it again to you. A person commits an offense. You totally not under. You didn't understand. This says I can't give you a false name. This is a different section. This is the first one. That's not my problem. It really isn't.
It is.
No, it isn't.
Okay, here's the deal. Here's what can happen because you're refusing to identify yourself.
Hold on a
Opposed to
second.
reading
Hold
the
on a
ID
second.
and say, here's
Hold
who I
on.
am
So
because
you're gonna
Hang on, let me
arrest
finish.
me for refusing to identify
That's
myself?
what you just read it.
I read. Yeah,
Now,
I cannot give you a
the
face
other
name.
part of it is-
But why don't you please pull it up? I swear to God, I'm not lying here. There was two different sections I read. Okay.
Hang on, listen to me.
Oh my God.
The other part of it is that when you do that, the other consequence, now we have to impound your dog, and we don't want to do that either. You said you love your dog.
Yeah, that would be retaliation.
No, sir, it's
Yeah.
not. We can't leave the dog
If you guys
here.
want a massive lawsuit on your hands, I mean, you
How
guys
is that retaliation when we can't leave the dog here in the car by itself?
really,
Yes, sir.
you're gonna.
I'm letting you know
This
what
is
the
how.
consequences are.
This is America. This is what you're doing to a citizen. Okay. All I did was go inside, grab some clothes quick.
Yes, sir.
You might. I sat in the car, got it. Yeah. Somebody called. Okay. That's what you do. I mean, that doesn't mean I do anything wrong. You know.
Let me ask you this. What is your end goal here?
To get you guys need to be educated. You really don't understand that
Okay.
what I'm telling you is actually the truth. And you got and police officers
So what is your end
do
goal?
not understand. To go on about my way.
So is ours. We want
Okay,
to get you
well,
on
go.
about your way.
But you
You are
have this
prolonging
addiction
this.
to ID. I'm not prolonging this. This is unlawful detainment.
This
No,
is our
it's not.
duty. We have to identify you.
Show me the law.
You just read it out loud.
I know, and you're not understanding because I just read it to
I
you.
know. We understand it. We do this day in and day out.
Okay. I came and investigated. Realized there was no crime.
We don't know that.
And now we have failure to identify.
No, you don't. My goodness,
were you
ma'am, you need to really get educated. Why won't you read it? I wouldn't lie to you. Just look it up. You won't even read it. That's how bad it is that you won't even read it. I'm telling you.
I'm out here with someone that I do not know who I'm out here with. I'm not going to get distracted in a cell phone or a computer.
To read the law? You'd rather just arrest me?
I don't need to read the law.
Yeah, you
We do this day in and day out.
Improperly, apparently.
Sergeant Tyler explains that the department received a call for service, which granted them reasonable suspicion to detain and investigate Mr. Beard for a potential animal cruelty violation. And Mr. Beard contends that their suspicion has been dispelled because his dog is obviously not in distress. As mentioned before, even if the Crossroads officers had reasonable suspicion to investigate Mr. Beard, that does not mean that he was under any legal obligation to provide his name or physical ID. When Officer Holbert arrived at the Walmart parking lot, her investigative starting point was the 911 call alleging that a dog had been left inside a sealed vehicle on a hot night. Even without the audio of that call, it is likely that this complaint justified a welfare check, if nothing else, because officers do not need reasonable suspicion to walk up to a parked car in a public lot and assess what's happening. However, once the interaction shifted from a welfare check to a detention based on suspected criminal activity, the officers were required to establish reasonable suspicion before effectuating a lawful detention. In Texas, courts have repeatedly emphasized that a call for service, standing alone, does not automatically supply reasonable suspicion to detain a person without corroboration. In the 1999 case of Juan Luis Garcia v. the State of Texas, the Texas 14th Court of Appeals explained that an anonymous tip may justify initiating an investigation, but it rarely establishes the level of suspicion needed for an investigative detention unless officers develop additional indicia of reliability and corroborate the criminal criminal aspects of the allegation, and this aligns with the broader reliability framework the Supreme Court established in the 1990 case of Alabama v. White, where the quality and reliability of the information drives how much corroboration is necessary before police may detain a suspect. The crime that the officers were investigating was likely Section 42.092 of the Texas Penal Code, which outlaws failing to provide necessary food, water, care, or shelter for an animal in a citizen's custody, as well as transporting or confining an animal in a cruel manner. Under that statute, establishing reasonable suspicion would be driven by observations such as animal distress, lethargy, frantic behavior, dangerous conditions, or any other unreasonable risk of harm. And the statute itself explicitly defines quote-unquote cruel manner as meaning, now quoting, a manner that causes or permits unjustified or unwarranted pain or suffering. When Officer Holbert arrived at the scene, she observed a dog inside a vehicle, but did not observe the dog in distress or enduring unjustified pain or suffering. Rather than taking any legitimate investigative actions, such as locating the owner inside the store, documenting symptoms of distress, or establishing a legitimate duration beyond speculation, Officer Holbert waited near the vehicle for the owner to arrive and immediately demanded his ID. Although the call and the circumstances likely warranted officer intervention, there is a strong argument to be made that no legitimate reasonable suspicion existed for a potential criminal violation.
Well, you don't know that, so you have no reasonable articulable suspicion then?
Yes.
No, you just said...
If a crime has been committed or is about to be committed. So,
has been, is about to be, or is currently, yeah. Have I committed a crime?
Well, currently failed ID.
That's not a crime. It's only a crime if you've been lawfully arrested. And if you take the time to just read the freaking statute, you realize this. Brother, I'm not lying to you, man. Just read it. I just read it to you.
Yes, you read it yourself.
Yes. I'm shocked that 3 officers really don't know this. That out of the 3 of you, a supervisor of all things, usually the supervisor is the one that knows.
And I'm speaking to you, and I do know it. And again, we read it. I'll sit right next to you while we read it together. Okay?
Yeah. And I just told you what it said. Where does it say that I have to show my ID?
Here's the deal.
Where does it say that I have to show my ID and what I just read to you?
In 3002, you just read.
What part?
Failed ID when someone is lawfully detained.
No, I cannot give you a false name when I'm lawfully detained.
The crime of animal cruelty has possibly, is it currently, or had been committed. Okay?
Now, well, investigate.
Hang on.
Investigate. Prove it.
That's the part
you
of it.
You just said you don't know how long I've been in the store. If you knew how long I've been in the store.
So the part of the investigation is then we contact Walmart and say, hey.
Okay, investigate.
Here's what we need to do.
That's fine. You got my VIN number.
We need to figure out who this person is and how long you've been in the store. How long the animal.
I've explained this thoroughly enough and physically read the statute to you. You guys are losing your qualified immunity, okay? Seriously. Are you a sergeant?
Yes, sir.
And you don't know this?
Absolutely. I guess as you're saying, I don't know.
Bewildering. I mean, this is just, I'm
sorry.
Beside myself.
But if you just read it with.
Call your lieutenant.
You don't have a lieutenant.
Captain.
No, sir.
How are you gonna? What you're trying to do?
I need the identification, and right now the dog is having to sit in the car even further.
Yeah,
because
you really don't care about the animal, do you?
You will not identify yourself.
You really don't care about the animal, do you?
I am here to do my job.
You're here to get my ID. That's all you want.
I need your identification to complete this process.
It's like crack to you guys.
It's required.
No, it isn't. Would you freaking read 3802? Would you read it? It's right there.
No.
It's right there. You're not even going to read it.
No, I am not.
Do you realize
I'm going to stand here with you.
Do you realize how bad this is going to look in court?
That's fine.
When you refuse to read the statute.
I am on a call. I'm not burying my face in a computer.
To find the law? You don't care? You think
I don't
you know
have
the
to.
law. You don't have to? You don't have to know the law.
I already know it.
Please, we're going to look at 3002.
I've read it. I've read it. I studied it.
Okay.
I've tested over it.
Right, but you're interpreting it improperly.
All right.
And you guys really, I implore you to educate yourselves about this.
Stand right there.
Sure.
So we can't do that. But is it prudent to do that? So here's a
100% sure would have done that to a human being, but whatever.
I agree. I agree. However, this is where we're at. So, here's the deal. Although
the plate does come back to 4012 Waterfront Drive.
I'm not trying to give you guys a hard time. I'm trying to answer.
Yes, you are.
No, I'm not. You're
Hang
giving
on,
me a hard
let me
time.
finish. Let me finish.
Sure.
Yes, you are trying to give us a hard time.
I'm not trying to. I'm really not.
Secondly,
I'm just trying to get my
Just be quiet.
hang on, let me finish.
Sure.
Secondly, the animal cruelty will still continue to be investigated.
I wish I could have had you put your hand in the car when I opened the door. It was literally cooler inside than it was outside. Okay? Yeah, you guys have to investigate.
We don't know that.
Yeah, but you can't automatically assume the worst.
We're not.
either,
That's why it's called an investigation.
Right.
We didn't assume the worst.
Right.
That's why we call it investigation. The officers come out, they investigate, they contact people, they say, hey, is this your car? Yeah, this is my car. Is this your animal? Yes, it's my animal. Can I have your ID, please? Because you're lawfully detained because there is a complaint and possible criminal offense of animal cruelty.
Yeah, that's the
Okay.
thing. Sure. And
So-
you investigate, but you don't have to get my ID to investigate.
Yes.
Look, I'll tell you, we have an epidemic in this country of constitutional rights getting violated all the time through this. And
Okay, I'm officer here.
I know you guys
officer-
don't think I could possibly be right.
And
you guys
Officer
know the
Holbert
law.
didn't do that tonight.
But just look at no.
Officer
I know.
Jones didn't do it, and I didn't do that tonight either.
Well, I mean, technically, this detainment has lasted a little longer than it's supposed to, but
That's
I'm not.
That's
I'm not
due to you.
That's
So
due to you. You are free to go.
go home, take care of your dog.
Please look up the law tonight.
The officers allowed Mr. Beard to leave the scene without further incident. Following the encounter, Mr. Beard filed complaints against the officers and followed up on those complaints directly with Crossroads Police Chief Sean Short. Chief Short responded to Mr. Beard's inquiry, stating that the internal investigation had been complete and attached an official letter explaining the department's actions. In the letter, Chief Short acknowledged that the officers were wrong about their interpretation of Section 38.02, but also claimed that the duration of Mr. Beard's detention was partially attributable to his lack of cooperation with the investigation. The chief went on to blatantly admit that Mr. Beard's detention was prolonged because the officers were distracted by Mr. Beard's unwillingness to provide his ID and their failure to recognize that it was not required. According to the chief's letter, the Crossroads Police Department staff were, quote-unquote, refamiliarized with Section 38.02 as a result of the internal investigation. After drafting a thorough and lengthy reply to Chief Short, Mr. Beard decided to move forward with legal action. Mr. Beard hired an attorney and issued a demand letter to the mayor of Crossroads alleging violations of his constitutional rights and requesting $75,000 in compensation. The city of Crossroads apparently rejected this offer because on March 5th, 2025, Mr. Beard filed a federal lawsuit against the city and both Officer Holbert and Sergeant Tyler. On May 27th, 2025, Mr. Beard voluntarily dismissed his claims against the officers, seeking only to pursue claims against the city. And on July 2nd, 2025, Mr. Beard also dismissed his claims against the city after reaching an undisclosed resolution. Overall, the Crossroads officers get an F for demonstrating a fundamental misunderstanding of both Texas law and basic constitutional principles, failing to conduct a legitimate investigation before baselessly threatening to arrest Mr. Beard, and for displaying a hostile and confrontational attitude throughout the encounter. There is no denying that a call about a dog potentially trapped inside of a hot vehicle warrants an officer's investigation, and the officers were well within their authority to approach Mr. Beard's vehicle and initiate that investigation. However, instead of taking simple investigative steps that would actually matter to an animal cruelty assessment, Officer Holbert immediately shifted the encounter into a compliance standoff centered on acquiring an ID she was not lawfully entitled to, while treating the existence of a call for service as if it were proof of criminality. As mentioned before, none of the officers on the scene took any meaningful steps to investigate whether a crime had actually occurred, or do anything to objectively assess whether the conditions were actually dangerous. Instead, the officers acted as though the mere presence of a dog in a car with the windows up was inherently criminal. But a legitimate law enforcement investigation requires more than assumptions and generalized concerns. Perhaps the most troubling aspect of this encounter was the fact that none of the officers on the scene, including Sergeant Tyler, seemed to possess even a basic understanding of their own state's identification laws. Even when Mr. Beard read the the law allowed directly to the officers, they still did not comprehend what it meant or how it applied to this encounter, despite Officer Holbert's assertion that she, quote-unquote, didn't need to read the law. Furthermore, Chief Short's handling of this case post-interaction was also highly unprofessional and lacking in a meaningful resolution. The chief explicitly admitted that his officers were wrong about the law, but also framed the prolongment of the encounter as a result of Mr. Beard's unwillingness to simply surrender his rights for their officers' convenience. Rather than treating the officer's mistake as a serious training and accountability failure, the department's response effectively shifted blame onto Mr. Beard for not making the constitutional violation easier to commit. This perspective can only be described as inherently unconstitutional because it conditions civil rights on whether exercising them is convenient for the government, which is exactly what the Constitution was written to prevent. This interaction highlights just how quickly a legitimate public safety call can be transformed into an unnecessary rights violation when officers treat suspicion as proof, prioritize forced compliance over fact-finding, and rely on incorrect legal assumptions to justify escalating a routine encounter. Mr. Beard gets an A+ for remaining calm and collected throughout the encounter, correctly interpreting and reciting the applicable statute to the officers, and for following up this interaction with the proper legal action. From the very beginning of the interaction, Mr. Beard handled the encounter in a way that immediately undercut any potential claim that he posed a safety risk to the officers or was attempting to obstruct their investigation. He did not raise his voice, use profanity, or engage in personal attacks, even as the officers escalated the interaction with repeated threats of arrest and animal impoundment. Instead, Mr. Beard stayed focused on the specific issue in dispute and continued to respond in a controlled and measured manner, which is the single most effective way for a citizen to preserve their innocence and legal liability on camera without giving officers a pretext to reframe the encounter as disorderly or resistant. Mr. Beard also demonstrated a strong understanding of the relevant Texas law and the constitutional principles surrounding this encounter, and correctly explained the distinction the statute draws between refusing to provide information and providing false identifying information. The fact that he was willing to cite and explain the governing statute in real time, and to do so without becoming confrontational, placed the officers in the difficult position of either reevaluating their assumptions or continuing to insist on a legal obligation that did not exist. That said, Mr. Beard's strongest decision was not the debate itself, but the discipline and diligence he demonstrated after the encounter ended. He followed up by filing an official complaint, and when that did not render productive results, he moved forward with a lawsuit and likely settled out of court. I commend Mr. Beard for having the patience, courage, and diligence to both successfully navigate this police interaction and follow it up with the proper legal action. This interaction highlights how a calm, information-driven approach in the moment, followed by disciplined use of formal complaint and civil litigation channels, can turn a civil rights violation into a documented record that forces institutional accountability. Let us know if there's an interaction or legal topic that you would like us to discuss in the comments down below. Thank you for watching, and don't forget to check out Audit the Court if you're interested in learning more about the legal nuance beyond the body cam.